Good morning, students. In the last video, I told you about the mechanism of breathing, inhalation and respiration. Now, next question is that what happens with that oxygen which is absorbed from the alveoli in the blood. Now, the question is how that oxygen is utilized in the body. Then see, the oxygen is carried by the blood to the all part of the body. Blood passes through the each tissue. Then that oxygen is transported to the each and every cell of the body. It diffuses into the cells, and the oxygen combined with the digested food present in the cell to release the energy. It means glucose plus O2. They combine together, they react and release the energy in the form of ATP. This process takes place inside the mitochondria in the aerobic respiration, in the case of aerobic respiration. Now the carbon dioxide gas is produced as a waste product, and that is transported with the blood, and from the lungs it is exhaled out from the body. Is it okay? Now next, respiration in amoeba. Now we will discuss about the respiration in the amoeba. As we all know that amoeba is a unicellular organism which lives in the fresh water. It is a unicellular organism, lives in the fresh water, and because it have only one cell, then all the processes of life processes are completed within the one cell. Then respiration is also done by the simply by the process of diffusion. Now oxygen gets diffused inside the body of amoeba through the water. The outer membrane is the plasma membrane. Through this plasma membrane, that oxygen it diffuse inside. It is only due to the concentration. It is due to the concentration variation the process takes place. What is the diffusion? Diffusion means movement of the particles from its higher concentration to low concentration. Because inside the body oxygen is less, that's why from the outside, because the more molecules are present outside, then oxygen moves inside the body. And due to the metabolic process of the body, or we can say as a result of respiration, which is cellular respiration, CO2 is produced, and that CO2, because that is more inside comparatively outside, then it diffuses outside. Is it okay? Then the process takes place simply by the diffusion process. Any problem? Is it clear to you? Okay. Now next. Now difference between inhalation and exhalation. Then see, inhalation is a process of taking air into the lungs. Then it is the releasing air out from the lungs. Is it okay? Now in first condition, inhalation, diaphragm contracts and flattens. It moves down. Diaphragm, it becomes flat and moves down. And in the exhalation process, diaphragm relax. It again turns into the dome shaped, moving upward. It moves upward, become relaxed and move upward. Now in the inhalation, internal intercostal muscles relax, and in exhalation, internal intercostal muscles contract, and the external intercostal muscles contract. In this it becomes relaxed. Is it okay? Now next is the volume of the lungs increases. The volume of the lungs increases, and in the second condition, the volume of the lungs decreases. Now size of the chest cavity obviously increases, and in this it decreases. And in this process, oxygen is taken into the blood. Oxygen is taken into the blood, and in this process the carbon dioxide is pushed out from the lungs, or we can say from the body. Okay. Now next you can see one more differentiation table is for you. Now see, action of the diaphragm. Now in the first case it contracts, in second case it relax. Now see, action of the intercostal muscle. Internal intercostal muscle relax and external contract. In this process just opposite, internal contract and external intercostal muscles become relaxed. Now next, volume of thoracic cavity. In the first case it increases, in the second case it is decreases. Now air pressure in the thoracic cavity. Air pressure in the first case decreases, in the second case increases. Now air is drawn out from the thoracic cavity, and in the second one air is exhaled from the thoracic cavity. In this air comes inside, in this air goes outside. Is it okay? Now next question is diffusion is insufficient to meet the requirement of the multicellular organism. It means, as we know, in unicellular organism as the amoeba, diffusion takes place when simply by the process of the diffusion, air or oxygen moves inside the body, it diffuses inside. Can this process possible in the multicellular organism? No, this cannot be possible because diffusion is insufficient to meet the requirement of the multicellular organism. Now see why. The first is the multicellular organism, their body size is large, and if we are talking about the human, then it is too large, volume is too large, then all the cells are not direct in the contact of the environment. In the amoeba, we all know the amoeba, the outer body of the outer portion of the amoeba is directly in contact with a single cell. Directly air goes inside, O2 goes inside and CO2 comes outside, right? But in our body, in a multicellular organism, the cell which are not in directly contact of the environment, how the oxygen will reach up to that? It is not possible. Then next is for means multicellular organism, respiratory pigment is essential. Diffusion is too slow process to cover the distance between the site of exchange of gases and where the oxygen is required. So hemoglobin is present in the blood of the higher organism, which is have the high affinity for the oxygen, and carbon dioxide is also dissolved in the blood and directly transported to the lungs, and from the lungs it is thrown outside or exhaled outside. Is it okay? Now okay, next one more question is there. What is the importance of the epiglottis? What is the importance of epiglottis? Then epiglottis is a leaf-shaped flap in cartilage. Now see. This flap is called epiglottis. This flap is called epiglottis. Now, and the pipe which is going ahead, this pipe is called windpipe. Now what happens when food comes down? Normally this epiglottis, this flap, it remains in this condition, and the windpipe is also open and food pipe is also opened. But when we have to swallow something, because this is a common passage, when we have to swallow something, then that should go into the food pipe only. In that, for the precautionary measurement, the epiglottis covers the opening of the windpipe. It covers the opening of the windpipe so that the food particle may not enter into the windpipe or trachea. So what is the epiglottis? Epiglottis is the flap-like structure made up of cartilage. It is made up of cartilage, and where it is present? It is located behind the tongue at the top of the larynx or voice box. Its function is to close the windpipe or trachea during the ईटिंग और ईटिंग मीन्स सॉलोइंग व्हेन वी जब हम कुछ निगल रहे होते हैं एट दैट टाइम, सो दैट द फूड कैन नॉट एंटर इनटू द विंड पाइप। अगर कभी ऐसा हो जाता है, कभी भी फूड के पार्टिकल अगर विंड पाइप में बाय चांस हम हंस रहे होते हैं, खा भी रहे हैं और उसी समय हमें हंसी भी आ रही है या हम बात भी कर रहे हैं, तो इन दैट टाइम एपिग्लॉटिस कंफ्यूज्ड कि बंद करना है एयर विंड पाइप को या नहीं बंद करना है। इन दैट कंडीशन व्हाट हैपन्स, थोड़ा सा वो खुला रह जाता है, और खुले रहने से क्या होता है, मे बी द वाटर मॉलिक्यूल्स, स्मॉल ड्रॉपलेट्स और द फूड पार्टिकल दैट मे एंटर इनटू द विंड पाइप। और अगर विंड पाइप में चला गया तो उसे सडनली सेंसेशन होती है, डायाफ्राम फिर से सेम एक्सलेशन वाली जो कंडीशन होती है वो उसे फॉलो करता है, और तेज़ी से हवा जो है वो लंग्स से बाहर आती है, विंड पाइप से होते हुए बाहर की तरफ आती है।